good evening, everybody, and welcome to Charlotte Motor Speedway as we're under the lights getting ready for the running of the History 300, race number 14 of the NNSCRA Mobil1 Cup Series here in Season 5. It's time now for drivers to take their attention away from All-Star Race Weekend and turn it towards the opportunity to make the chase. On the pole for tonight's event is going to be rookie Zach Buchanan, 36th in points. Right now, he is still mathematically eligible to get up inside the top 10 in points, but he may be also looking to get in via the wild card spot. He'll have to pick up 2 or 3 wins here during the course of this second half of the season in order to do so. Same deal for the driver right next to him, Dylan Young, dead last in points. As a matter of fact, he's a total of 24 points behind 41st in the standings, Danny Wells. Dylan Young desperately needs to get something going here in order to make the chase. Drew Austin going to line up in the 3rd position there. Drew Austin in the rookie standings not doing that well, currently 32nd in overall points as well. He needs a good run tonight, and alongside of him, James Qualls. His season started off well, but now he's been falling off. He's now 23rd in points. So James Qualls also trying to get his season turned around to get himself up and into possible chase contention. So you see how these drivers, they know now the second half of the season is going to really come very quickly up towards the chase, so they gotta now, at this moment, make their moves. Tryfon Reed comes into this race with a 19-point advantage over Waitos Devotas, then 29 points back to the rookie points leader, and 3rd in points, Lando Vendetta. 4th in points is Eric Burton, and don't forget, he's a 2-time winner in the Mobil1 Cup Series and won the Truck Series race last night. So Eric Burton may have a bit of an advantage over the rest of these guys coming into tonight's race, and then Barney Ward, he is 5th in the points. Time to get these cars rolling off. We'll see what they're going to do here tonight. We had quite a wreckfest in the Oreo Truck Series event. We'll see if that's going to be the case here tonight, or will they find some way to put us under some nice green flag runs. It's going to be a 40-lap event tonight here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Looks like Tryfon Reed, the points leader, is going to start mid-pack. We'll see what he can do here tonight to maybe try to extend his points lead even further. Getting ready to go under the green flag. These drivers going to be trying to do everything they can to get themselves into championship contention, and it starts here tonight at Charlotte Motor Speedway. The History 300 is green. Inside line going to be the preferred line all night long, no doubt about that. With the cooler track conditions, we may see them be able to make 3 wide and make it work. I don't know. We'll find all that out as this race progresses. 40 laps, so these drivers are going to probably have to make a pit stop here during this event too, so they'll have to keep that in mind as far as their strategy is concerned. It's going to be a battle between rookies for the lead right now. Drew Austin down low, Zach Buchanan up high. See who's going to lead the first lap of the night. It is going to be Drew Austin by a splitter. Drew Austin there in the 44, still looking for his first career victory. Here comes Adam Chambers down to the bottom. Now Adam Chambers comes into this race currently sitting 26th in points. He's looking for his second win of the season. He may be thinking about getting in via the wild card spot. Is Charles Jackson going to go down almost to the apron to go 3 wide for the top spot. Thinks better of it though, gets back in line behind the Reese Chevrolet. That was a close call. Jackson comes into this race currently 8th in standings. So he's trying to keep himself inside the top 10 in points. Right behind him, Richard Johnson, who had that wild ride in the Mobil Open at M&M Speedway. 28th in points. He's still looking for his first win of the season in the Mobil 1. As at the line, Charles Jackson's now going to lead that lap, taking the lead away from Adam Chambers. Charles Jackson in the 32 ended up winning back, I believe it was at Atlanta. As they're getting pretty dicey back there, James Qualls almost went up and got the wall. Rim riding there out of turn number 2, and here comes Richard Johnson down to the bottom. He's going to go for the lead. These drivers, we've been able to complete now 4 green flag laps. They're going to take lap number 5. Who's working his way up here through the field? How about Ralph Mason, our Mobil 1 Cup Series All-Star Race winner, who ended up winning in a photo finish with John McNamara. He has now worked his way up almost into the top 10. Right there is his brother, Wolfgang Mason. Those two, man, they really put on a show back at the All-Star race. And, oh, they're bouncing off each other and Dylan Young. That was close. 3 wide between brothers and Dylan Young, and that nearly caused problems. But Wolfgang Mason, he is a 2-time winner from last season. Still looking for his first win of the season. Ralph Mason ended up winning at Talladega. Both these Masons would love to make the chase, and looks like Wolfgang's going to move by his brother Ralph. Ralph wants to go back down to the bottom and try and take the top spot, or not take the top spot, but take that position away from younger brother. Meanwhile, further back in a hornet's nest, you got some of the front runners in the points. Tryfon Reed, the points leader back here, right behind him. 5th in standings, Barney Ward. There's Lyndon Wright right there in the mix too. There, the 55, right behind the AC Delco Chevrolet. Lyndon Wright up in 6th in the points, and these guys, they're back here mid-pack in a hornet's nest. There's Wyatt Savotas actually, 2nd in standings, just up ahead of the points leader. So we got 1st, 2nd, 5th, and 6th in points, as well as Sean Williams, 7th in points. They're all right here, somewhere around 16th back through 24th. But the rookie points leader, Lando Vendetta, where's he running? Oh my goodness, he's way in the back here. Maybe biding his time, I don't know, but he's back currently running in the 29th position, now going underneath former Mobil Cup Series champ Trent Dunham. And you know, we've got an opportunity here tonight for a possible 3-time winner. That would tie James Silverfox for most Mobil Cup Series wins in a single season. One of those drivers is the guy who won the Truck Series race here last night and is running just up ahead here, the AT&T Chevrolet of Eric Burton. 2 wins this season, 1 coming at Bristol, 1 coming at Infineon. He could pick up his 3rd win of the season here tonight. The other drivers, not too far behind him, that neon green GoDaddy.com Chevrolet of Kyle Sosnowski, who's won at Castle Gorge and Supercell. He's currently running way back here, though, currently in the 30th position. Trying to see if there's anybody in the back of the pack that's running well in points. Where's Luke Martin running? Oh man, he's running way at the back here. Currently in 41st place is the 99. Comes in 9th in the points. Last thing he wants is a poor finish and to slip outside of the top 10. Luke Martin still looking for his first win of the season. He has a Mobil 1 Cup Series win which came last season at, I believe it was at Talladega. It might have been Daytona. It was a restricted plate track. I remember that. But he's back here in a hornet's nest with Austin Ogo and James King, Cole Daly. They're all just trying to maybe right here at the back work pit strategy when it comes up and then get up to the front. I don't know. Is up at the front. Leader is now Ralph Mason. Our All-Star race winner is now out in front, but here comes Jordan Davis down to the bottom. Now Davis, his season, it started out great. He's still looking for his first win, but he had a great start to the season. But then when we got here towards All-Star Race Weekend, things just seemed to fall off for that number 28 team. Especially when they went to Infineon, then things just started going downhill. He's dropped down to 12th in the points, 4th in the rookie standings. He's trying to get his season turned back around. And take a look at the freight train coming down low. 2nd in points, Wyatt Savotas. The points leader, Tryfon Reed. 5th in points, Barney Ward. And 6th in points, Lyndon Wright. I think they're starting to feel the pressure now that they got to get to the front. Very interesting that we're starting to see them here up around lap number 14. Got a total of 27 to go. But apparently the strategy has worked out here that these drivers are trying to find the right time to get to the front so that if these things cycle around, they'll be around at the front again when we get to the checkered flag, as the battle's going to be on not only between the drivers 1-2 on the racetrack, but the drivers 1-2 in the points, and it looks like it's going to be Tryphon Reed taking the top spot as Wyosa Votas now goes rim riding on the high side. Well, Tryphon Reed had the lead. Don't know how long he's going to keep it, though. Barney Ward going to come down to the bottom of the racetrack. You know, a lot of these drivers, like Reed, like Votas, like Barney Ward, Lyndon Wright, they're obviously doing well in the points, but we've seen here in the first half of the season just how quickly, how drastically things can change. And so these drivers, they're going out there with the mentality that they have not yet made the chase via top 10 in points. They're going out there to win every race they can, because it could very easily happen that they have a streak of bad luck, fall out of the top 10 in points, and have to resort to trying to battle for a wild card position. So these drivers, I can assure you, that are running in the top 10 in points right now, they are coming in with that mentality, trying to go out there, win every race they can to ensure themselves, guarantee themselves, regardless of any luck that comes their way at the end of the second half of the regular season, that they are going to make the chase for the championship. Comes Sean Henley down to the bottom, ended up leaving the Oreo Truck Series race with the points lead after a nice 6th place finish, and he's trying to continue that consistency tonight here in the Mobil1 Cup Series. Now, Sean Henley's 24th in points, and I think the points are actually so close that within 2 races, if Henley were to win 2 races, I think he would actually move up inside the top 10 in points. I'm telling you, these point standings in all 3 series, you know, they kind of space out up at the beginning because some drivers are just dominating right now, but when you get down just outside the top 10, the points are so close. You can gain a maximum of 6-7 spots in the standings with a good finish in one night. These drivers know that, and they want to get every position they can. Felix Graves out in front now, but he's going to get a challenge down low in the form of Charles Jackson and James McLeod, as well as James Silverfox. No James Qualls up here, so we're not in store for a 3-wide James run again like we had in the Mobil Open. That was probably one of the most ironic things I think I've ever seen. We ended up in the Mobil Open having James McLeod, James Qualls, and James Silverfox going 3-wide. It was a 3-wide James, but then, to add more irony on top of it, during the Mobil1 Cup Series All-Star race, there was Sean Williams, Sean Galligan, and Sean Henley going 3-wide. It was a 3-wide Sean battle. So that was probably one of the most ironic things I have ever seen happen. And it all happened in one race weekend. It's James McLeod now going to go down to the bottom. He'll look for the top spot. McLeod comes into this race 16th in points. Good run tonight. Maybe a win could move him into the top 10 in standings. And here comes Lando Vendetta, rookie points leader. We were seeing him running all the way back just inside the mid-30s. He now has worked his way up here to the front, letting things cycle out. He's now going to battle with McLeod for second place as James Silverfox is going to go to the lead. 22 laps down, all under the green flag. We have not had a caution yet tonight. And at some point, these drivers are going to have to start making pit stops. I don't know how far they can go on fuel mileage, but we're going to be keeping an eye on that, because keep in mind, we got the Snickers Cup Series longest race of the season coming up, the Coke 600, where it's going to be 60 laps these drivers are going to have to turn, and we're going to have to see exactly how good the fuel mileage is, so we'll know when drivers are going to have to pit in the Coke 600, as Lando Vendetta now goes to the lead. But for how long? Here comes Jake Smith, big run down on the bottom, trying to see if he can get to the inside in turn 3. He will indeed be able to do so. Jake Smith going to go to the inside. Smith ended up having a dismal appearance in the Mobil Open. Ended up getting caught up in the first wreck. I believe he ended up finishing dead last and did not make the All-Star race. Trying to get some redemption here. Jake Smith comes into this race currently 34th in the points, so it's not been an ideal season so far for the 25. Don't forget the 25 Mobil 1 Cup Series ended up winning the championship with Matthew Rodriguez back in Season 1. Contact right there, bouncing off of Jordan Davis. And at the line, was it Davis who led that lap or Smith? It was close, and I think it was, yes it was Jordan Davis who led that lap. Meanwhile, take a look who's working his way up on the inside line. 10th in points, Ron Vajara Jr. He's 3rd in rookie points, and he's having a great run tonight now. In that number 30, right behind him is the guy who won the All-Star race, Ralph Mason, and right behind him, the pole sitter, Zach Buchanan. But Ron Vajara Jr., this is the one series he's really doing well in, and having another great run tonight there in that number 30, Chevy Camaro. As meanwhile, up front, Guido Savotas going to go to the lead. Now, I don't know where Tryfon Reed is running, but remember, Guido Savotas came in 19 points behind Tryfon Reed in the standings. I see Tryfon back there. He's caught up on the high side, mid-pack. Savotas going to cross the stripe right now in the lead. In order for him to leave as the points leader tonight, Tryfon Reed would have to be running in 21st or worse. Where is he currently running right now? 22nd. So right now, we actually, at this particular moment in time, have a battle for the points lead between Tryfon Reed and Guido Savotas. However, keep in mind, we still got 14 laps to go. Anything can still happen in that amount of time. And Ron Vajara Jr., he's gotten to the inside of Guido Savotas. He's going to lead a lap here tonight. But now he's got the hard-charging Ralph Mason down to the inside. Mason, I'll tell you what, he is on a winning spree, and there's no doubt about it. Ralph Mason ended up winning the Snickers shootout in order to make the Snickers Cup Series All-Star race. He also ends up winning the Mobil 1 Cup Series All-Star race. And now he's up here in the front again here tonight, this time in a points-paying race, as he's looking for his 2nd win of the season and the only Pontiac in this field. Zach Buchanan right behind. Then you got Dylan Poteet rather, and Danny Wells. A lot of drivers up here who really need good runs. Mason comes into this race currently 40th in points, regardless of his win at Talladega. Zach Buchanan, who's now moving by for the lead, comes into this race 36th. Dylan Poteet comes into this race 33rd, and Danny Wells comes into this race 41st. So a lot of drivers who need good runs are up here now at the front of the field. How about a shout out to a driver who's actually doing well in points, and we haven't talked about her at all tonight. Nicole Williams, 13th in points, and now up inside the top 10 in that number 40. She was running well in the Truck Series race too before she got taken out in an incident. Good run tonight for her. 5th in rookie points, and she's having a great run tonight. Currently inside the top 10, could move inside the top 10 in points tonight if she can get a nice finish. We got 10 laps to go, 9.5 now on the back straightaway. As, oh man, almost some contact between Dylan Poteet and Danny Wells, and I think we got pit stops going on. Danny Wells, Dylan Poteet, they're going to make their first pit stops of the night here on lap 31. Some drivers staying out. Oh, someone wrecked on the front straightaway. James Silver Fox spins. Silver Fox is spun out. Is that enough for a caution? Henley's just completed his service. Pace car is off. Pace car is off. Caution is waving. And oh my gosh, look at the gaggle of cars on pit road. Oh my goodness gracious sakes alive. Everybody's coming down, and Luke Martin stayed out. He picks up the pace car. He stayed out along with Guido Savotas, Jake Smith, Cole Daly, Jeffrey Finguy, John McNamara, and James McLeod. And there's James Silverfox as well. Now they're coming down to make pit stops as the lights is green at the entrance of pit road. But now we gotta wait here. We cannot go back and look at that James Silverfox spin just yet. Just when they make their pit stops, that's when the caution comes out. Oh man, Haruji almost boxing Luke Martin out, but all sorts of different pit strategy going on here. Henley made a pit stop before everybody else did. He pitted a lap early. Then Poteet, Danny Wells, and everybody else were coming down. Few drivers staying out, and here comes Luke Martin now off pit road. Guido Savotas' team was quicker than Luke Martin's team. Why does Votas got out ahead of everybody? But the question is, who's going to be the leader under caution? I think it still's going to be Dylan Poteet cycling around. Second place will be Zach Buchanan. Looks like Wydus Votas is going to be third. Danny Wells fourth. And Nicole Williams is going to be fifth after the cycling of pit stops. Here under the caution flag, we're going to look back at a replay of James Silverfox's spin. Dylan Poteet, after everybody's come down pit road, has cycled around, I believe, as the current leader. Let's see how this happened. This may have been drivers trying to come down pit road and just something happening there. Look at Luke Martin right there. He didn't even slow down. He knew he was going to stay out, and he's just driving around all these slower cars. But let's see where the contact comes. Oh, wait a minute. John McNamara tried doing the exact same thing, running way high on the, really fast on the high side, and he just runs into the back of James Silverfox. I think Silverfox and McLeod weren't quite sure if they wanted to come down pit road that time or not. They slowed up. Luke Martin, John McNamara, and his teammate Jeffrey Finguy, they knew they were going to try and stay out an extra lap, and they were still running full speed, and there just wasn't enough room for John McNamara to fit himself between the wall and the James Silverfox machine, and he ran into the back of the Transformers Camaro. But that was enough to bring the caution out. Drivers who were on pit road had to get their cars off pit road as quickly as possible to avoid going a lap down to Luke Martin, who then pitted with the rest of the leaders under the caution. And things have cycled around to a rather interesting way. We're going to figure it all out as we head back to Green Flag Racing. We've been given the signal of 1 lap to go. The leader is indeed Dylan Poteet. He's got 5 cars up ahead of him. One of them is a lap down. That's the car of Chris Kyle. The other 4 are on the tail end of the lead lap. I see Eric Burton up there, along with Harui Tashimi, Riley Ogle, Richard Johnson. Also, James King is up there, too. They are on the tail end of the lead lap. Oh, actually, no, Chris Kyle is actually on the tail end of the lead lap as well. Wolfgang Mason has actually gone back behind the wall after something. I don't know what that was. Tough break for the 82, but this is the way they line up for the restart. It's going to be a 5-lap shootout to decide tonight's event. Dylan Poteet is the leader. The pole sitter, Zach Buchanan, second. Wydus Votas, third. Danny Wells, fourth. Nicole Williams, fifth. Sixth place is Luke Martin. Ralph Mason, seventh. 8th, Ron Vijaro Jr., Jeffrey Finguy 9th, and Adam Chambers is in 10th. Austin Ogo 11th, James Qualls 12th, James McLeod 13th, James Silverfox, even after that spin and everything, he's 14th, Lando Vendetta 15th, 16th Felix Graves, 17th is Jake Smith, 18th Jordan Davis, Charles Jackson 19th, and Dylan Young is in 20th. 21st, John Henley Lyndon Wright, 22nd, 23rd is Cole Daly, Mark Thomas 24th, 25th Justin Williams, Barney Ward 26th, John McNamara 27th, 28th Trent Dunham, 29th is the points leader coming tonight's race, Tryphon Reed. He may lose the points lead tonight. Kyle Sosnowski 30th, 31st is Galligan, and the rest of the cars in the lead lap are Bryant, Rogers, Austin, and Sean Williams. That is not the leader, that is Chris Kyle, who is on the tail end of the lead lap, as now Dylan Poteet tries to go to work here. He'll go underneath Harui Tashimi. Meanwhile, Zach Buchanan right behind him, trying to see which line's going to open up. Votas right behind him in third. Danny Wells there in fourth, and Nicole Williams fifth. Now Dylan Poteet going to go underneath the damaged car of Riley Ogle. That is for, well, no, it's not for position. That's to put the 77 down a lap. And Zach Buchanan's all over the back bumper of Dylan Poteet, just waiting, biding his time, just moving through the holes that Dylan Poteet makes. Now he's put the 4 and the 77 in his rearview mirror. Now he's coming up on cars that are completely up to speed. 2-time winner Eric Burton, Richard Johnson, James King, and Chris Kyle. Poteet's got his work cut out for him as they are 2 by 2 ahead of him. He's boxed in. He's got to find some way by. It looks like he's going to try and use Eric Burton to move by the Richard Johnson machine and put him a lap down. Now goes underneath of Chris Kyle. Dylan Poteet, looking for his first Mobil1 Cup Series win of the season. Comes into this race 33rd in points. But Zach Buchanan now is starting to reel him back in. Danny Wells has now moved into the 3rd position. He got by Votas for 4th, or for 3rd rather. Nicole Williams just got by Votas for 4th place. As now Eric Burton, he's going to pick up some valuable spots here, passing Kyle and King. But now he's about to fall a lap down. Here comes Dylan Poteet. 1.5 laps to go. There's Buchanan right in his back bumper. Does Buchanan have anything for Poteet? Poteet going to try and move down underneath Eric Burton. He now puts the 29 a lap down. Coming down to receive the white flag. Dylan Poteet, Zach Buchanan, Danny Wells, then Nicole Williams and Ralph Mason. That's the top 5. Buchanan all over the back bumper of Dylan Poteet. Will he make a move here? Poteet slips up. Can Buchanan get to the inside? Here he comes. Zach Buchanan going down low. Danny Wells waiting to see if he can get there. Dylan Poteet high side. Zach Buchanan low side. Can Dylan Poteet get the run off turn 4? Buchanan is by him. Buchanan's by him. But Poteet battles back. Almost contact at the line. Zach Buchanan goes coast to coast from pole to win. He denies Dylan Poteet the victory. And Zach Buchanan picks up his first career Mobil1 Cup Series victory here tonight under the lights at Charlotte. Zach Buchanan bided his time, waited for his moment, and pounced when it was necessary and gets the win here tonight at Charlotte. History made in the History 300 as Zach Buchanan becomes yet another first-time winner in the Mobil1 Cup Series, picking up tonight's victory. Unbelievable. Zach Buchanan, what a job by that team. Right place, right time, and Dylan Poteet again is denied a victory in Season 5. Rookies seem to have it out for Dylan Poteet. Austin Ogo denied him a Snickers Cup Series win at Castle Gorge. Tonight, Zach Buchanan denies him a Mobil1 Cup Series victory at Charlotte. We'll take a look now at the official finishing results for tonight's event. Buchanan wins. Dylan Poteet and Danny Wells, they actually kind of dragged it out for second place. Both of them finishing 8/100ths of a second behind the winner. Nice run there for Dylan Poteet, though, and a great run for Danny Wells. 41st in points, a well-needed run for him. Nicole Williams, this could move her into the top 10 in points now with a 4th place finish. Ralph Mason, nice run for him. He's going to finish in 5th. He comes in 40th in points. This is a well-needed run for him in that Pontiac Grand Prix. Then you got Ron Vajara Jr. He'll stay in the top 10 in points as he finishes 6th. 7th, Adam Chambers. This is going to move him up in points. Then Waidos Avotas. Now, we're going to have to see if Waidos Avotas is going to be the points leader heading next week. I don't know yet. We're going to look at that up in just a moment. He's going to get 8th place, though. Austin Ogo. Nice run for him. We didn't talk about him all night. He'll get 9th. And James Qualls. He comes from out of nowhere to get a nice top 10 finish. Now, Waidos Avotas finishes the night in the 8th position. He came in 19 points behind Tryphon Reed in the stands. That means that Tryphon Reed's going to have to finish in 28th place or worse tonight. Where did the 12 finish? Did he finish worse than 28th? Yes, he did. He finished in 31st place, did the points leader, which means that, incredible as it may seem, we have a new points leader heading into next week, and his name is Waidos Avotas. Unbelievable. Tryphon Reed, that 19-point advantage that he built up, all of a sudden it is nil. He has lost the points lead to Waidos Avotas, so we are going to have ourselves a new points leader heading in to next week. Unbelievable stuff going on here this race weekend, and we're just getting geared up for the longest race of the season, a 60-lap event here in the Snickers Cup Series, the most patriotic event of the season. You'll see all the drivers coming in with patriotic paint schemes on their cars. It's going to be a great event. Hope you'll tune in for the Coca-Cola 600, which will be coming up soon. The longest race of the season. Well, Zach Buchanan gets it done here tonight. His first career Mobil1 Cup Series victory. And it happens here tonight under the lights at Charlotte. Please give this video a like if you enjoyed tonight's race. Subscribe to become a part of the crew today. And we will see you guys next time. Here comes the official finish results. Your overall points with Waidos Avotas as the new points leader, as well as your rookie points heading into next week. You've been watching a production of the NNSCRA, offline racing at its best.
Bye.